You create your own value in this world. Okay? No one else. What you do, the work you put in, creates value. Not someone else saying this is valuable. I mean, that works for the general masses. You know what I mean? If, let's say, David Beckham comes out and says he uses this cologne, that cologne now has value. But why is that? Is it because David Beckham said that? Or is it because David Beckham himself has put in the work, put in the time, put in the promotion to create or to move himself into somewhat of a fashion mind, coming from a soccer player, football as they like to call it. So what I'm saying is, what you do now. Let's get back to dogs, okay? Because that's what we're really talking about here. You create the value behind your stock. Going and buying a female who has 6 times a certain dog in their pedigree doesn't mean shit if the female isn't built the right way. It doesn't mean shit if you don't take that female and then improve on that female in the next generation. Okay? If you buy a stud, spend a certain amount of money on a stud, just because you spent that amount of money on a stud really doesn't mean shit until you take that stud and build him and promote him and show people the value in that. Okay? The first thing you got to start with, as I always say, you need to have a vision of where you want to go. You need to have goals. You need to sit down and really think to yourself, what is my goal in this, in owning, breeding, showing, rescuing dogs? What is the goal? If your goal is to make 40 grand a year, there's certain things I'm not saying I agree, disagree, but if your main goal is to make a certain amount of money that year, there are certain things you need to do to create value behind your stuff. You've got to promote, you've got to get exposure, you've got to create I hate saying hype around your dog, but you got to create a buzz around your dog to where people can see the same value that you see. Promotion equals exposure. Okay? The more you promote your dog, the more exposure he'll get. Now, sometimes the more you promote a dog, the more people get jealous and the more people start hating that dog, which then also turns into more exposure for your dog. Not everyone's going to hate. It'll be a select group of bitter, motherfucking unhappy people that hate your dog. And they will do whatever they can to down that whatever, just pick something and tear them to shreds. There are always going to be people like that, no matter what you do in life. If you're scared of those people, stop doing what you're doing and just stay home, sit in the corner, wrap up in a blanket, have yourself a cry. Okay? Those people are always going to be around. Those people are in every facet of life and society. If you think it's going to be different just because you have a pretty dog, you're not thinking rationally, okay? I mean, I've been through this with dogs of mine. Jackpot, world. I hate saying world famous. The dog's world famous. I went to the Philippines. There were people lined up just to have conversations with me about Jackpot. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. But when I first started bringing Jackpot out, he made so many people jealous and mad that they literally, people came to shows to take pictures of him that were in the worst positions possible. And I've even have cases of people photoshopping his pictures to make him look worse. I'm sure that you could probably find them on social media right now. I don't take anything down. That's all exposure for me and my dogs. You hate them, that's you. I don't care. You love them, that's you. I still don't care. I'm doing this for me. I have a vision. I know what these dogs should look like. I know what I want out of these dogs. I know where it's going. So I don't worry about those people. But you have to put in the work. You have to get your dog out there. You have to spend the money. You have to travel the miles. You have to hit the shows. You have to do meet and greets. You have to do photo ops. You have to get the dog in front of the best photographers in the business.